So good morning everyone, myself Amulya, second year student from KMIT. Today I'll be presenting my second milestone video for the project Code Genie. So the major learning was understanding how transformer based LLMs like DeepSeek Coder work and how to locally use them. And also we have built a fast API backend to communicate with the locally running DeepSeek Coder model. And we have also integrated the same into the code extension with the WebView panel. And we have also explored prompt engineering to improve the model's responses. The tech stack which we have used is Python and Fast API for the backend to integrate the model, the TypeScript for type safety, and also HTML, CSS, JavaScript to write for the code for the WebView panel, the front end part. The model is DeepSeek Coder 1.3 billion parameter. Deployment, since the model is running locally, there's no deployment, local only deployment approach, no internet dependency. It works in offline mode, and therefore we have complete privacy and control. Changes made in architecture diagram. So before the model was running locally via Ollama, but now we have downloaded the model from Hugging Face, the respective files, H5 files, JSON files, bin files from the model. The architecture diagram is the same. So the user interacts with the VS Code editor. From there, it sends the Fast API, the request to the Fast API, and then from Fast API, it requests the DeepSeek Coder model, which is running locally in our device. Therefore, and then the request is given, the response will be generated, the same will be shown to the user. The reason for choosing DeepSeek Coder was because it is optimized especially for code-related process, and it runs locally with strong performance. The other models which we have considered were CodeLlama and StarCoder, but then the smallest model was 7 billion, which is not opt for our device. It is good at coding, but less intuitive for instruction-based responses. Whereas DeepSeek Coder is tuned to follow the natural language instructions very well. Therefore, we have considered DeepSeek Coder. And also we have GPT 3.5 and 4. These are not open source, these are closed source. So we need API limits. So it has API limits, and we also need internet. So because of that, we have used DeepSeek Coder 1.3. So what we promised in first milestone, and we have achieved it. So we have successfully running DeepSeek Coder 1.3 billion locally in our device. 4 features we have suggested. First is suggest, explain, debug, and inserting the code into the editor. We have also seamlessly integrated the workflow between VS Code front-end UI to the Fast API, and from Fast API to the DeepSeek Coder running locally. We also have clean layout with interactive buttons. The challenges and the hurdles which we faced were setting up the model, downloading the model was quite an issue, but then it got resolved. It got resolved. Issues in connecting extension with Fast API server and storage space management, since the model was around 2.5 to 3 GB large, and handling communication between WebView and backend. So we overcame all these issues by communicating with our teammates and through online resources, and by the guidance of our mentor. The future enhancements, we plan to have a chat-based interface, model switching option wherein the user has an option to toggle between models, code optimization suggestion wherein Code Genie can suggest on different optimizing techniques one can go for. An integrated documentation lookup is nothing but if a README file or a big file is given wherein code base is required. So in that situation, the Code Genie can suggest user on how, or can guide user on what to do. Now let's look into the demos part. So this is my extension.ts code. So here we have a function activate. So this function activates. So whenever my extension gets activated, so this function will be activated. So we will check if an editor exists. If a file editor exists, then we will assign the current language, that is editor.document.language ID. So this function, this method will return the file type, the extension type of a file. Let's say if the file is hello.py, so it will return Python as the current language, and we'll console.log, and the saved editor is nothing but the path of the current file. And register command, whenever the user registers this command on the command palette, our extension will get activated. So here is where I'm creating a panel, create a WebView panel. This is the name of the panel, and we are revealing it beside, that is on the right side. And so now when the user from the front end, whatever message the user sends, so if the extension receives that message, let's say the user selects a prompt and clicks on get suggestion. So that thing would be sent from the front end to the extension.ts. So we'll check for a message. If the message is fetch suggestion, we will check if the user has selected a prompt or not. If the user did not select prompt, we will send a post message back to the web UI, to the front end, that this is a validation error. Please select some code in the editor. If not, if the user has selected some prompt, then we will send this. We have this prompt. You are a helpful coding assistant who is proficient in the language. Your task is whatever the user has selected, provide only the correct code within brackets. Do not provide explanation. So we are logging it to check whether the prompt is correct or not. Then we will wait for response. We are awaiting for response. We are sending a post request to this API. So this is the fast API which we have built. The endpoint is /generate. So let me show you that. So here in my server.py, I have my model. So the path of my model, which I've downloaded from Hugging Face, is here. So I'm downloading my model. Before that, so my base model. So whenever I am sending a request to the model, I ensure two parameters are being sent. First is the prompt, which is string. Max new tokens by default, if nothing is provided, it will take as 1024. So now first we tokenize, and then we call causal LLM from pretrain. We send the model path, the D type, and the device is CPU. Now the post endpoint is /generate. We will token from the tokenizer, we'll tokenize the requested prompt. The return statement would be tensor. So we'll be returning tensors. Now we are not calculating gradients because we do not have much GPU to do that. So therefore we'll generate model.generate. We send the input, the tokens, sample is false. Then end of statement token is tokenizer.end of sentence tokenizer. It is denoted by EOS. So completion, since I said the return statement is a tensor, we'll decode the tensor. And if there are any special tokens like the end of the statement or something like that, we will skip those. The cleaned output is this, then we'll return the cleaned output. In order to run, since we are using fast API to build the endpoint, to run the fast API, we use UVCon. So this is running at this particular thing now. So in my extension.ts, we are waiting for a response. So we are in the post request, we are sending the prompt and the tokens as 500. So once we get the response, we will extract code from the response, because most of the times the code is embedded inside triple brackets or a single bracket. So first we'll match if the response has triple brackets in it. If yes, then we will return what is inside triple brackets. If not, if we observe a single bracket, we'll return whatever is inside single bracket. If we do not observe any kind of bracket, we'll return the entire output which was generated. And we assign the whatever output was generated into last generated code in order to insert it much effectively. Then we console.log and we send a post message to the front end that yes, your work is done. We'll show you suggestions. In any kind of error, we'll send an error, fail to fetch suggestion. And the same thing is for different commands. If from the front end the user selects debug, we'll check if the user has selected something. If yes, we will give this prompt. We will wait for a response, and then we will do the same thing for explain and for insertion of code. So this is the code for extension.ts. For webview.html, the HTML page looks like this. So this is my drop down, which has fetch suggestion, to get suggestion, insert code, debug code, and explain code. So let me show you the demo of the project. So my server is running here. I'll open my extension F5. So now let's call the CodeGenie extension. I'll enter Control-Shift-P, CodeGenie generate code. I'll enter that. So this is called the WebView panel. So now let me ask, write a Python, not mention the language, write a program to print Fibonacci series. Okay, now we have to select this thing and go get suggestion, execute. So this will take some time. Let's wait for some time. Okay. So as we can see, the code is generated. So it has detected the language of the file by looking at the file structure. So this is in Python. Now let's try to insert the code. I'll click on insert, execute. So the code is inserted. Now let's ask CodeGenie to explain the code. I'll go click on explain, execute. So even this will take some time. Let's wait for some time. So CodeGenie has explained this particular code snippet. This is what it says about the Fibonacci series. Now let's remove something and ask CodeGenie to debug it. So I'm sending this. I'll ask debug the code, execute. This will take some time. Let's wait for some time. So as you can see, CodeGenie has debugged the code. Instead of a comma and nothing, A plus B is there. So it says it should be this. This will print the first 10 numbers in Fibonacci series. So these are the different features: get suggestion, insert code, debug, and explain code. We also have a toggle theme button here, which toggles from dark theme to white theme, light theme. So this is it. Thank you.